get you ready for week number 6. Mr. Pasquino is back with his insight and analysis, and he starts it off with Giants-Eagles. We got a Giants team that scored 30 points for the first time really since the Obama administration, it seems like, going up against an Eagles team that's the only team in the league that hasn't scored more than 24 points. So, week number 6, Jeff, should there be Eagle-Giant players in your fantasy lineup tonight?
I think given that there's bye weeks this week, there's always that possibility for the need. The top-end guys I would have for each side will be Zach Ertz for the Eagles and Sterling Shepard. Obviously, Odell Beckham Jr. should be in there, as should be Saquon Barkley. But I like Ertz and Shepard this week. Not so much for the running game for the Eagles because it's probably going to be a mixture of a bunch of different guys.
Yeah, that's something we haven't brought up on the show a lot. He just brought it up. The Giants do not cover the tight end very well. Zach Ertz had 10 catches for 110 last week. He could have a big night tonight when you look at not fantasy, just realistic perspective here. Let's get into the quarterback questions for Jeff for this week. Jameis Winston is back. If you drafted him and were waiting for him, should you get him right in your lineup against a porous Falcons defense?
I think so, and he's had a week to get ready, and I think they're going to light it up because that's one of the 4 games with over a 52-point total this week. So Atlanta, Tampa Bay, the over/under 57.5. Get all your Falcons and Bucks in the lineup this week.
4-1 Bengals. I don't know if we're believing in them yet, but are we believing in Andy Dalton?
Well, I think you have to this week. He's a borderline QB1, and he's got a really soft schedule the rest of the way. If you believe in that passing game, believe in that offense, and that Bengals team, if they beat Pittsburgh this week, they get a realistic shot. There's a huge matchup next week with Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. So watch out for the Bengals when they come here, right here.
All right, Baker Mayfield at home against the Chargers. Should Bake be in your lineup?
No. I think he's a solid quarterback too, but the Chargers are a lot better than people think. They have 2 losses, and they happen to be the Rams and the Chiefs. So watch out for the Chargers.
What about Mitchell Trubisky? He had, 6 touchdowns the last time we saw him.
He did, and he's another player coming off a bye. They get I like the Bears against Miami. Miami's proven that that 3-0 record for a start was a farce. Now Miami's hot start at the Bears' hot start at 3-1. Get the challenge here, and I think they're going to be up to that challenge this week.
Fantasy football questions week 6. We're going to move to the running backs. If you have questions for Jeff, text them in now to the Scores hotline. Text board 609-403-0973. Ryan is compiling all your questions. Number 6. Let's start with Aaron Jones, Green Bay. He missed the first couple of weeks of the season. Jamal Williams got the carries. But is it time for Aaron Jones to be the guy in Green Bay?
Yes and no. I think that he's probably the top guy for Green Bay, but I don't see him as being more than a running back 3 against the 49ers. I actually like the 49ers a little bit on the road, especially getting 10 points against the Packers. Packers have not proven to me yet this year that they're worthy of being such a big favorite yet.
All right, let's go to Philip Lindsay. I know you've liked him a lot. There is that split there. They're playing the Rams. Do you think Lindsay is a play?
I think he is. That's another one of the 4 games that have over 52-point total. And the Rams are good at linebacker, but they're kind of weak secondary and the front 4. So I think Lindsay is going to be a big part of the offense and trying to keep them at bay. I think Denver could surprise a little bit, but I still like the Rams to win that game. I think all your Broncos should be in the offense, maybe even the quarterback if you need one.
Prime time, Sony Michel. We usually stick away from Patriots running backs, but has he proven that maybe it's time to play him?
Get all of your Chiefs and Patriots in your lineup. 59.5 expected points in that game. Anybody you can get, any piece you can get, but the one guy I like the most in that game is Travis Kelce. Patriots gave up 3 touchdowns to tight ends last week to the Colts.
What's going on in San Francisco? Breed is out. We know McKinnon's done. So is there a 49er back that you like?
You're stealing my sleepers already. Okay, so one of my favorite guys this week, I call him Kyle Scrabble because his points are so high for his last name. Kyle Juszczyk, Juszczyk, formerly of the Ravens, last week had 12 yards rushing, 75 yards receiving on 6 passes. He was on the field 70% of the time, and he could be used a lot again in the passing game, especially in the PPR league. I like him as a running back, too, this week.
All right, get your questions in for Jeff, 609-403-0973 on the Scores text board. We're going to move over quickly to wide receivers and get Jeff's take on some wide receivers. Julian Edelman's back. You saw him last week, so you're comfortable putting him in your lineup?
I think so. And again, I love that game. There's going to be a lot of points. The Patriots really need to win this game because if they lose to Kansas City, they're 3.5 games back of the Chiefs for the top spot. So I think that Edelman and all the Patriots are definitely worth playing this week.
All right. What about Allen Robinson? He's going against the Dolphins. He's getting about 10 targets a game, so do you start to feel comfortable with him?
I think he is. He's the one of the top two options for Trubisky, along with Trey Burton. But I think that Allen Robinson is a wide receiver, too, this week against Miami, who, again, is kind of reeling with after 2 losses in a row.
How about Larry Fitzgerald? Let's look at him. He's going up against this Vikings team that many people thought had a great defense. Hasn't been as good as we thought. But how about Father Time has caught up to Larry Fitzgerald yet?
Well, we're seeing a change with Josh Rosen as a different quarterback there. So who he's favoring is really changing. Christian Kirk is a sleeper wide receiver to pick up. He seems to be being targeted just as much, if not more, than Fitzgerald. Both of them are barely flex options this week, though.
All right, we got a lot of questions this week. We'll try to get as many as we can for Jeff. Don't forget, if you have a question, we'll try to get to it. 609-403-0973. Ryan has been taking the questions off the text board. Let's see how many we can fit in. How we got?
All right, we got one from Daryl here in his PPR league. Sterling Shepard or John Brown?
Oh, that's a good one.
I think Sterling Shepard because he's going to get a lot more targets, and the Eagles are softer over the middle. I think he's going to see a lot of volume this week, so I go with Shepard.
Can I slide in there and add another one? Shepard or Corey Davis?
That's a little bit closer, but I still don't trust consistently that passing game. But we actually have them ranked side by side, Shepard and Corey Davis. So it's a total toss up. My personal preference is go with a known passing game. It's a good passing matchup for the Giants. I like Shepard.
Thanks.
All right, in a PPR league here, Jarvis Landry or Robert Woods?
I like Landry only because the Cleveland's going to be trailing, and I think that Robert Woods is coming out of he should be – people are thinking he's going to be favored but for a lot of targets, but both Cooks and Kupp are coming off a concussion protocol and will be solid starts, splitting the value across all three.
All right, in a half-point PPR league, Corey Clement or Emmanuel Sanders in the flex?
I like both receivers for Denver this week, both Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, which is why I'm hinting at the quarterback if you need one. I'm not in love with Case Keenum, but I think both Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas are worth wide receiver 2 spot this week.
All right, in a full PPR league, Enua versus Indy or Lockett at Oakland?
I like Lockett, and remember that game. That's important to bring up because Seattle and Oakland is actually in London. So, but I think that Seattle's going to see more of the home field advantage because there's more fans for them out there. I like Lockett seeing more consistent passing game and attack.
All right, should he start Coleman on Atlanta over Buck Allen?
Well, this is really going to come down to Devonta Freeman, and I think Devonta Freeman is going to be out again, so that leads me to Tevin Coleman.
All right, here's another one here involving Enunwa. I really struggle with pronouncing his name.
Enunwa.
Yeah. Enunwa, Demaryius Thomas, Alshon Jeffrey, or John Brown?
Demaryius Thomas.
All right, and in another PPR league, Carlos Hyde or Corey Clement?
Since the Eagles are going to split carries, the last time these guys led the backfield, Clement had 55% of the snaps. Smallwood had 35%. Neither are worth a start. I would go with Hyde.
One more. Get one more.
All right, one more here. Kittle or Trey Burton?
Kittle's really breaking out, and I think that you're going to have some issues at receiver, and also Matt Breida is not going to be at full strength. I like Kittle. He's got 399 yards receiving already. I like him this week.
All right, there you go. A look at week number 6. If you have questions, of course, each and every week, you can send them to our text board, Jeff Pasquino from thefootballguys.com. Jeff, before we run, give us some sleepers, some waiver guys, some guys that you like for week number 6.
Okay, a couple of receivers I like. I think Kiki QT from Houston could see even more action this week against the Bills, maybe even a garbage touchdown because I think it's going to blow them out. Mohamed Sanu, again, I like all the Falcons against Pittsburgh. Get a piece of that game if you can. We mentioned Kyle Juszczyk. I really like him at running back. And one other guy that was probably on a waiver wire, and this is kind of a dark horse for this week, but Ronald Jones could be seeing more touches and more receptions for Tampa Bay. This is a perfect time to get a rookie involved in the running game more, and Atlanta's one of the worst teams against receiving backs in the NFL.
All right, another week in the, not in the books yet, but another week starts tonight, and Jeff Pasquino from thefootballguys.com helps you set your Week 6 fantasy football lineup. Hopefully you got some good advice, and, good luck in your games, of course, everybody. Good luck to you, Jeff.
Good luck, everybody. Enjoy the games.